Welcome, everyone. So happy to have you here today. This is my talk, using PlayFab Party to integrate networking and voice into your game. My name is Jason Kepner. I am a program manager on the Xbox platform networking team. So my goal for today is to give you a better understanding of what the product is, ways it can help you integrate multiplayer networking and chat into your title, as well as to where to go for setting up and downloading the latest versions of PlayFab Party. So what is PlayFab Party? It's a real-time multiplayer networking and communication middleware solution for games. It has a low latency secure data transport for authentication and encryption of all your communication, be it management data, game data, or real-time communication. Automatic connections are done through our low latency cloud relays from any one of our Azure-backed relay distributed servers all over the world or regions you select. There's built-in support for unidirectional voice and chat with additional accessibility features on top of that, such as speech-to-text and text-to-speech. We also have built-in translation support for over 60 languages backed by Azure Cognitive Services. So what is PlayFab Party typically used for? There's three scenarios I want to highlight in the next slides. At a high level, essentially, there's the in-game multiplayer data, sending data between all of your players. There's the pre and post voice chat scenarios, like your lobbies and your post-game sessions. And then there's the in-game voice chat, the main communication happening between all of your players. So using Party for multiplayer networking. As you can see, the creation of a party network has everyone playing together where all the game logic and the state data is being passed around. Party allows for creating these secure, low latency multiplayer networks. Game data is being passed around between the players and devices over Party's cross-platform mesh. From the diagram, you can see that this particular party is actually connecting multiple devices, and they are various. They're not all the same. We have consoles, we have PCs, and we have mobile devices. Games that don't require a cloud-hosted dedicated game server are a perfect fit for Party's secure multiplayer networking. Party is great for titles that need managed solutions that don't need to pay for cloud-hosted dedicated servers. There are titles today that ship on Party that have game modes like co-op that really just need a quick and simple setup of networking and chat Party spun up. They also have custom networking, complex networking scenarios where there's more players. So they have their own custom networking implementation, but they can still use PlayFab Party for their chat. Their chat sessions are still spun up and quickly and easily on PlayFab Party on top of their own custom network. Using Party for multiplayer chat, this is also straightforward. We have our two groups here. We've created two party networks. One is a friends party with some friends getting together and they're chatting. And the other one is more of a fire team. The game is set up. The player's already kind of in a session looking for a match to get into. This is the pre-game setup where people are trying to figure out how to play and what to play. This is the social experience before the game, and it really grows and can solidify the engagement for all the players in your session. This is really perfect for that scenario. All right, so after we've gotten everybody together, we've seamlessly transitioned all of our players from their previous network into this new network. Party allows for this seamless transition to in-game chat from pre-game into the in-game exclusively. From the diagram, you can actually see that the title chose to pull those three friends out of that particular party network into the main party network, but chose the fire team. They're going to stay in that network while still being in the main game network. You actually have the flexibility for players to be in multiple networks at the same time. And this is actually useful if you want to actually make a seamless transition from players to go back to that fire team. So if their game is over and they're done playing, they still want to go back to where they were before and communicate and decide maybe what their next mission is or what they want to do together. So you don't want to lose that integration of players and that friendship. This is really a good growth and platform ecosystem that you want to maintain within your game. So how do PlayFab Party networks work? Basically, Party network is a collection of endpoints, which could be really a single device. It could be a player or some other entity. The title has the flexibility to decide what an endpoint can be in their game. The messages that you send across to these various endpoints, they can be sent unreliably or reliably. It's really up to you. They can be sent sequentially or non-sequentially. You have the choice. You can broadcast or you can choose targeted specific users. It's up to you. One benefit over UDP packet relays is we actually minimize the network bandwidth that we use by sending one message up and then let the relay distribute back down to the other endpoints. We also we secure all the messages with the latest DTLS encryption, so make sure everything is actually sent securely. And all of our networks are hosted on Azure Relays. I mentioned this before, but this really takes care of getting users connected and handling issues like NAT traversal for players who sometimes can't get connected otherwise. And it also provides some risk mitigation with some DDoS protection. And ultimately, PlayFab Party Networks, this is where you exchange all the player data. This is where you're, as I mentioned, game, state, whatever you want to do. This is where you send the actual data. Okay, quick example of creating a network. Create a network, it's your opportunity to configure some important security and resource settings for your game. So as you can see here, you need a network descriptor, and that really is the identifier for your particular network. And when you're setting up your network descriptor, there are some configurations you might want to consider. The invitation configuration allows you to specify what restrictions exist on your players joining the network. And the network configuration allows you to set constraints on the network resources that are valid for your game. The region list, it would allow you to provide a region for where your party would be hosted. Should you not want to use the defaults, you can specify your own, but the defaults are selected based on latency measurements when this party subsystem is initialized, so that might be more beneficial. After successfully creating a network, you'll get that network descriptor back, which acts as the address for that network, which you can then use to join networks or have others join that network. Okay, you have the network, but how does party voice chat work? It's accomplished by creating a collection of chat controls. And the chat controls are basically the management class for all local chat operations. Your title would create a chat control on a local device for each user on that device. Usually single users, but we actually do support multiple users on a single device, which I've kind of highlighted in that diagram on the left. We have 2 people on a single console, and that's not uncommon for some popular multiplayer titles, and we support that with PlayFab Party, having multiple users on a single device. Once you have those chat controls, you then decide which network or networks you want to actually add that chat control to and connect it to it. Once it's visible on the network, it becomes visible to all the other networks. And then in turn, the other chat controls are visible to it. Once you're connected, the party automatically sends and receives voice and text over its built-in secure networking. Okay, so who sees and hears what's? Party supports unidirectional chat control relationships. There are many scenarios that you can enable with this, and I've got some examples here, and I'll go into those a little bit more detail. But at a high level, things like push to talk, which you see commonly in PC games, where a certain key press is where you want to send your audio, only when you have that key pressed. Channels and teams, you have Group A and you have Group B, and only those inside those groups can communicate with each other and not cross. Broadcasts, you are a leader and you want to send everybody in that particular team, but you don't actually want to either receive it. You can actually set that up fairly quickly. And even Whisper, perhaps you're in a group and you can receive everybody's audio, but you only want to send to one particular person. You can set up the chat matrix fairly quickly. This is a super lightweight operation, and it should be done as often as you see fit. There's no harm in doing it, and you should do it to match your game style, your play style. There's really any matrix of talkers, texters, and listeners, receivers possible. It's completely within your control. Okay, so how do I set up a chat control in code? Really, you need to create a local chat control and pass in the local device. The local device will actually, by default, use the system default device for you. And from that, you're going to want to pass in your local user, your language that the user uses, and from that, you'll get your chat control. You get your chat control, you connect it to the network or networks. And like I said, you can choose more than one. Once you've connected to a network, you're going to start receiving events saying, hey, other chat controls might be visible. And by default, communication is none. There's no permissions, I should say, passed between them. And so you're going to want to set up what the actual unidirectional chat relationships are right away, depending on your scenario. And in this code sample, I basically said for this first chat control that came in, I just want to be able to receive audio, receive text, and send audio. Basically an open relationship between me and the new user that just came in. So I previously talked about some various chat scenarios. These are some code snippets to go along with those scenarios to show kind of how simple this can be set up. The first couple lines are that push to talk scenario. Essentially, I just want to mute my local mic on a key press, and that's it. Once it's pressed, I can unmute and then mute again when it's not pressed. For a teams-based permission setup, assuming I'm player A and my teammate is player B, when I see him, I can actually just say send audio, receive audio, and text, and bam, we're talking together. C and D, they're not on my team. I don't want to have anything to do with these guys because they're my enemy. So I'm going to say my chat permissions are none. And at that point, we have two teams of players, A, B, and C and D. Say we're done. Great game. We're now in the lobby. We're trying to figure out what the next match is, and I really like a particular map. I'm going to whisper over to user B. I really want this map. So in that whisper scenario, what I would do, I would just change the chat permissions from C and D that I only receive audio from them. I don't send them audio. So I just quickly change my chat permissions in that state. And so when I send audio, it's only going to go to B. It's essentially a whisper. And then once I've sent whatever map I want to send him, I can quickly change it back to open again to the lobby, and C and D are none the wiser. I've picked my map. We also support enhanced chat scenarios, like I mentioned before. We do this to help support our Gaming for Everyone initiatives. Accessibility is really critical for getting people into your game, more people into your game, in fact, such as speech to text. This takes your local audio and transcribes it into text for all other players to see. And we also support text-to-speech, which is the inverse. I can type and then have an audio stream sent and rendered into other players' mics. This is great for giving me a voice to play when I otherwise wouldn't have one, or really choose not to use it for various reasons. And then users can still hear something in their mic and not have to read somewhere and feel like they have to be disconnected from the game in order to have my participation in that game. Translation support. We had translation support in over 60 languages, supported by Azure Cognitive Services. This is supported in speech to text as well as text to text. One of the other quick benefits of the chat control is we also do automatic device selection for you. In the event that there's actually more than one device on a particular system, we can give you the system defaults to make setup quick and easy. Now, we also understand that there are enhanced audio experiences that games are really trying to create now, and so we want to take care of that as well. What are those experiences and how do we do it? So what if a bubble shield distorts your voice? We've purposely designed Party Chat or PlayFab Party to be used with popular audio processing solutions such as Fmod and WIs, in addition to custom processors. Party's real-time audio manipulation actually allows this by giving you direct access to the pre-encoded audio buffers at the capture site. So at the microphone, when they're talking, you can have access to the stream. And then direct access to the post-decoded audio buffers at the render site. So before it actually gets rendered into my microphone, you have, or in my headset, you have access to that stream as well. This is really great for when you want to do things like an echo in a cave, or the bubble shield, or even positional or distance-based rendering for games that have multiple players, lots of players. You don't want to hear all 16 of them yelling in your ear. You might want to filter them down to the closest 8, and even then you might want to do it based on distance. You might want to change the volume based off of distance. Our audio streams give you the ability to do that within your title. A quick sample of accessible chat transcriptions in action in an actual retail title. Sea of Thieves today actually supports this, and it's a really great way of enabling more players to be included in their title. In this screenshot, there's actual transcribed text happening in real time on my screen, and you can see that I don't feel left out of the action. If someone says that the ship needs repaired, or a cannon needs to be refilled, or someone needs to be taken out on the island, I see those messages and I can react in real time. So even though I can't hear them, I can still react and play with this group of people. It's really great for including more people into your game. It's a fantastic feature that should not be left out. Now I want to show you a demo of translation happening in a real-time application.
Hey guys.
Hallo, wie geht es euch?
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Which ships do you want to be?
Ich nehme das rote Schiff.
D'accord.
Cool.
Okay, so that was the demo of our sample, and that sample actually does use PlayFab Party for voice, for chat, as well as for translation. So my account, I was actually in English setting, but in the lobby that we were in, I was actually playing with other users and their languages were translated into English for me on screen, even though they were speaking in German and in French. And that's really powerful because it actually makes it so that I can play with other users without language being a barrier for us to get together and play games. Okay, so what development support do we have? We have seamless integration with Unreal and Unity. The game engine is drastically cut down on your development time. There's also a C++ API for those that aren't using Unreal or Unity or have your own game engines that you want to build on top of, with support for a whole list of platforms: Windows, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, iOS, Android, and Google Stadia. Depending on what target platform you want to develop for, we have it there. And then it also allows you to easily migrate to another platform. We also provide an Xbox helper library, and this is for if you are targeting an Xbox device, and it enables you to pass those Xbox requirements more easily. So what does Party give me? What does it provide for my game? What are the benefits for me? I want to really iterate over these again. Party provides a single cohesive cross-platform solution. Everything that we built into this product is by design and by default. There's data, voice, and text all on the same network. It all is all integrated together. The connections are low latency. They're all encrypted and they're all protected with the risk mitigation and the net traversal benefits built in. It's cross-network. It's cross-platform, targeted platforms. They'll all get together on the back end. The federated ID support, what this basically means is if your users are signing in on a PlayStation device, you can use PlayStation IDs. Nintendo devices, you can use Nintendo IDs. PlayFab Party will actually use our federated IDs behind the covers and still get everybody together in their network together and playing. Azure support for 16 geo-distributed regions. Get them low latency together in the best location to play. Built-in speech to text and the translation support. This is our gaming for everyone. This is where you can really broaden your reach and include more players into your game. Real-time audio manipulation. This is your shield bubble. This is your cave. This is your enhanced effects. There's titles who have really taken this and built really great experiences with this, and we enable those for you to do it as well. And then hardware accelerated audio. There are some devices that we enable hardware accelerated audio, and this enables you to get your core back so that you can make your game more performant. Okay, getting set up. I'm going to show you how to get set up real quick. You need to create a PlayFab account. By doing that, you would go to developer.playfab.com, create a PlayFab specific account, or you can use your MSA, your Microsoft account, to sign in. If you haven't finalized the game studio name, you can change that later. It's okay. You'll need to create your first game, enter the name for your game, set up some metadata for your game, and click Create Title. And from there, you'll see a dashboard of your game specifically, and you'll want to click on that in the dashboard to get to the game details page. Once you're in the game details page, you'll see a section for multiplayer. Click on the multiplayer section, and you'll see the Party tab. On the Party tab, you'll want to click Enable. Once you click Enable, that's it. You'll have access to all the PlayFab Party features that I've been talking about. Okay, so now that you're all set up, how much does it cost? If your title solely targets Xbox users using Xbox Live identities, PlayFab Party is completely free to use. The core networking in chat is free, including most of the accessibility features. You would only pay for the non-Xbox Live users. And for pricing information, please visit playfab.com/pricing for more information. Even in a mixed mode game where you're using Xbox Live and non-Xbox Live users, the Xbox Live usage is still free to you. Also, try it for free. There's no cost to try it or download the SDKs and see if it works for you. I highly recommend you go get it, you download it, and you try developing with PlayFab Party today. So where do you go to get the SDKs? You would go to docs.microsoft.com, and there we have availability for all the various platform SDKs, including comprehensive documentation and samples, as well as the NetRumble sample that I showcased earlier that is downloadable from the website as well. So some final thoughts I want to leave you with before I go. This is the same API across all of the platforms. If you code it once on one platform, the goal is to make this a simple migration to another platform so you can start targeting all the platforms that you wish and get all your players together in the same network. It's built on the reliability and the reach of Azure. Azure Relays, Cognitive Services, it's there. The increasing your reach with the global audience, the potential audience with built-in games for everyone features, speech to text, text to speech, translation. This is a great way for you to grow your user base and include more people into your games, lowering the hurdles for everybody to enjoy your game. And then it's free to develop everywhere, always free to use on Xbox Live. Definitely give it a try. There's no cost to try, and there's no cost for Xbox Live Identity usage. Some references for the topics that I've talked about today. These links will take you to any more information that you want to know about. And with that, my only ask to you guys is to go create amazing multiplayer games. Thank you.